This is the first time I've ever done this. I'm going on a walk that I normally go on, and I'm recording it because I'm going to want to maybe look at this, and also I want to comment a little bit about this walk. So the street we're on right now is Manhattan Boulevard, and it is a busy street. Like right now, it's Saturday, so it's not too bad, although here we go. We have to park on the street here, and then we have to recognize what day it is because they do street cleaning on one side of the street 2 times a week and the other side 2 times a week. So you have to alternate the cars depending on the day. So that's something we've never done before. We've already gotten a ticket. Reed got a ticket because he didn't turn the wheels in to the curb. So we don't live around any sort of places like this that are hilly. So we weren't really even aware that that's a requirement. And I'm sure for people that do live in this area, a little doggy up there barking away. So people that do live in this area, I'm sure they know about it. And so now you'll see we're 1 block off of the main road. And when you come into Manhattan Beach on that main road, you're thinking, oh, this is kind of not that great of looking of an area. And then all of a sudden you start walking in the back here, and the farther back you go, the nicer the homes are. So you can see on the corner, and all of the homes, they tend to have a different sort of style. And these houses are definitely in the, I think like $4-5 million range. I'm sure there's ones you'll see in here that are definitely more than that. I'm always amazed at the size of these houses and then the price, and then you wonder how the heck, or at least maybe it's just me, but I wonder how the heck, like this looks like an older one maybe, but you ask yourself, how the heck do people afford it? And what I understand, in Manhattan Beach, the average age is 43. And as I've walked around in these neighborhoods, I've seen pretty much everybody I've seen has been, except for maybe one person who is doing their own yard work. Everything I've seen has been younger people. And then lo and behold, here's a guy walking his dog that's a little bit older. So moving up the hill, you can see, I'm not sure if you can see the pitch of it. You can probably hear it in my voice a bit. The one thing about walking around here, and I've done it at night, is they have like private security guards that drive around, and you see a guy walking in this neighborhood by himself. Here's a nice one here, and it's like, what's the creepo doing? Excuse me. Why is this guy walking around the neighborhood? And I often think, like, with this younger group of people, is being where we were in Newport Beach, Balboa Island, and it was especially older group, and you'd walk around there, and in the evening it was old school. Everyone kept, here's a nice big one here too, everyone kept their windows open, so as you were walking around, you could see what all the people were doing in their house. Like, look at the size of this house. Like, just, you know, and the reality is you can really only live in one room at a time. And you can see here, this house, this is, I don't know if that's a house or a park. No, it says no trespassing, private property. So I'm not sure if this guy bought the lot or who bought it, but looks like they have little kids. They have the basketball hoops down a little bit lower. Now we're coming up. I've got to show this one house that's just on the corner. And you can see again, size down there, that's the water. So we're up on a hill, and that's the Manhattan Beach area. And then you start going here, and you can see the size of this home is quite the house. And it's not like there's a few of them. And now you can see down here, and what's at the end there, that's the Palo Verde area, one of my favorite areas. When I was doing heavy Ironman training back in early 2010 or so, I went through there, and then since I've been here, I have cycled. Now this house, you swear, is an office building, and to see it at night is quite something, because they have it all lit up, and then you can see they have stainless steel doors, and yeah, it's quite the unique house. And you can tell there's a lot of gentrification here, and as you start walking, you'll see new construction, yet at the same time you'll see the odd old little house that's been around for a long time. And you can see this street, and again, pretty hilly. And then we're going to go down this way into the sun, so you can see in the background all of the water. And yeah, it's just beautiful. Again, Palos Verdes is over there. Beautiful little area. So now you'll also see what's really interesting is and here's this house here again, is they have sidewalks, and then the sidewalks, they just end. There's no rhyme or reason. Here's a guy building a house. Like, I was listening on a show, Adam Carolla was saying they were rebuilding houses in Malibu, Pacific Palisades, and those houses were about $1,200 a square foot to build. And you know, the real luxury ones, he was saying, were about $2,400. So a house like that, you wonder how many square feet a house like that is. I'm thinking, I don't know, minimum. Oh, look at that view that they have off the back. Wow, that is pretty spectacular. So they have a view coming off the side, which takes them down here so they can see that. And then they've got a view out the back, which shows all that area. So I don't know if that was even, for round math, $1,000 a square foot, 4,000 square feet, there's 4 million, not counting the lot. I don't think they count the lot in there. So that's probably, I don't know, a $6-7 million home. I'm not sure. And then there are a lot of beautiful landscaping as well that people do. The yards are well taken care of. And Manhattan Beach is known for being a very crime-free sort of area, although they say in the evening you want to stay away from the Strand is one. I think we'll go up this way a bit since we'll get out of the sun, bright sun. And so they're already advertising Ride for the Cure, which is, when is that? That is May 17th. So they're advertising that well in advance. Here you've got, you know, different styles. Like it's a brand new home, but it's got kind of that vintage look. The other one beside it has the same and the same. I wonder if it was the same builder. And then look at that hedge. Those are the kind of hedges you see in Beverly Hills where you can't see the house. What's interesting here is these folks have, you know, a lot of money, and I'm not sure if it's Beverly Hills money, and I don't even know what Beverly Hills money is, but the difference is you can see the houses here, where in Beverly Hills you really can't see the houses because they all have this, you know, large, they have this large kind of thing here. Like now that you get close, you can see the size of it. The one thing that I always love about this place is the blue sky. Like this is actually, so look at this house. So the one thing about the blue sky, it's actually cloudy today, if you can believe it. But yeah, look at that, just a beautiful home that they built. And these, it goes on for forever and ever, these homes. And then I think I'll go down this way because there's people there, and it's always a little strange, at least this being my first time talking into the camera and walking along. But nowadays people probably don't think it's that big of a deal because everyone's an influencer. So I did ride my bike up one of these streets. It's very hilly and I rather enjoyed it. Kind of powered through it all. And then here's another big house on the corner, and it looks like there's another one here, brand new, under construction. Some of them I noticed that they keep the outer frame, but they look at that. It's a crow.
Yeah, I ran out of food, so
Oh,
he'll follow me all the way home.
those are the smartest birds.
They're smarter than anything you can
That's
imagine.
what I've heard.
They know your voice. They can be trained.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They know your
And
voice.
they'll remember for a lifetime to speak to them. And they'll tell their babies.
Wow,
I know.
that's amazing.
They can do is amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. So they like know what the mean people are.
Yeah.
They know who will feed them.
Wow.
I'm thinking she has kids somewhere because I ran out of food and she's following me. But they totally talk to you. They have face recognition, so
Really?
yeah.
Wow. Learn something new every day. So again, here, that was a crow. That they are the smartest birds on the planet. So now we're coming down. Haven't seen yet. You'll see some of the older houses that are still here, and I often wonder, you know, what they think is it's like our neighborhood, and I'm not moving, and then that's fine in the beginning, and then all these big houses come in, and I think, do people, you know, after a while, when you got more big houses and little houses, are they like, hey, we want these little houses out of here, they're bringing property values down, or something along that lines? Or do they look at it and say, oh, it's cute, these little cute houses, like here's one right here. And I find as you get closer to the water, you see a little bit more of them. So if there, like that's just a nice little home. I don't know what that land's worth. I'm thinking, I don't know, a couple $1,000,000, could be worth more, probably more. And then again, this house, it's pretty amazing, double lot. Looks like they have some sort of courtyard in there. There was the one that they're building there, a big double lot down that way. And so, is it the Amazon guy? Probably. And you can see they're all different styles of homes that you have that are down here. Hopefully we'll get into the shade a bit because it is kind of bright and hard to see stuff. Here we go, and here's another place. Like just look at these places. I often wonder, I wish that there was something where you could go by and find out what does this person do for a living. Like if a house is, I don't know, 5 or 6 million or $7 million, and if you have a mortgage and you've got to put 20% down, let's say you're looking at a $5 million mortgage. I don't even know what the math would be on a payment like that. $1 million mortgage is probably, I don't know, 3-4 grand. No, it's probably even more than that. Okay, I've got to cross this street. All right, it's one way. So now where I'm going is I ran here today. It's a path that they have. It used to be an old train trestle from what I read, and I guess it did go to Hermosa Beach, although I didn't run to the end. I thought maybe I did, but it used to be something like that, and then I guess the city bought it and it goes down to Hermosa, and people now, it's a walking, jogging trail. They're really into this stuff. And you also see, like, for biking, that they always mark that it's a biking sort of forgot to record my Strava. Darn it, let me do that. Outdoor walk. So yeah, it was nice, and running on this, these wood chips, I guess is what they are, is good on a little bit extra cushion. What I want to do is I want to go down one of these unique streets that here we go, we're crossing the street again. People in California, they really wait for red lights and the walking man or whatever, and I know I don't. And then I think Alice was saying, you get tickets for that here. I was like, wow, really? There's a house being built across the street, and you can see they use steel, a lot of steel. And we'll go along the Strand, and we'll walk there and look at some of the homes, and some of them are being built, and they are like crazy. So here's what I want to go. So this is unique. It's a walking trail, and they have them like every second or third street. And these are houses that are on here, and there's no traffic. You walk down and you can see a lot of kids, like it's a neighborhood. It's not, I walked down here yesterday, and again, it's all younger people or people that are in their early 40s. And, I was thinking about this lifestyle as a kid here. It's pretty idyllic as a lifestyle, and I was just wondering what it's like when you grow up here. Are you in some sort of Pleasantville, and it's beyond what you can think. And then some of the people have these lights hanging, so if this was at night, you would see them lit up, and it looks good. Some of the neighborhoods, however, they have the lights, I guess all the neighbors got together and they have the lights almost across the whole area, and it looks really cool. So you can see kids have got their little bikes and stuff. Here's a house being built. That's interesting. It's pretty far back. I wonder if there's going to be a new house or they have a yard. You don't see many people that have yards here. Most of it, the houses are taking up the entire space, which I guess is nice that you don't have to cut the lawn. But there's a lot of trees and stuff like that there's someone doing their yard. A lot of trees and things like that have to be maintained. So yeah, I wonder, and I don't think a lot of these are rentals. I don't see rental signs like when we were down in Newport and Balboa Island. There was a lot of places that were rentals and beach rentals, but I haven't seen that here yet. So I guess it's probably a lot of people live here that full time. Oh, here's a little house. You know what? There's something about these ones that I just like. Still goes long back, but you know, their houses would be worth a fortune, I'm sure. Like, look at this guy across the street. He's built like a cement house, solid as can be. And then this one here, I'm not sure. Some of them I've seen are kind of duplexes or a couple of houses. This one seems like it, yes. This one is, oh no, it's one home, it looks like. Darn. Wow, I thought they were connected. Yeah, craziness. So now, and I think we're coming down at a good time because we should be able to see the sunset. Now we're on Highland Avenue. I think this is one of the streets, I can't recall, that might be, okay, I've actually got a crosswalk, but you know what? No one's coming, so that's good. So here we go, we're heading down the Strand. You can see again, just beautiful homes. You know, again, it doesn't matter where you go, whether it's Newport Beach, Manhattan Beach, there's so many, you know, whether it was Beverly Hills, Bel Air, really anywhere in Los Angeles, you see these sort of houses, and they're just never ending. And that's what's really interesting about this is that you just wonder, where does all this money come from? You know, I'm thinking, if you've got a mortgage, $5 million, how much do you have to make a year to get approved? If anybody knows that, put that in the comments. Also put in the comments what a $5 million mortgage would cost someone. I'm thinking that's gotta be a lot of money. So just, we're coming down to the beach area now. And this is, yeah, one of the, I think it's Manhattan Street maybe. And you can see they have a lot of bike signs and things like that. So let's see if they stop here at the walkway. Thank you. And so now we're coming. This is odd when you see other people. They're probably wondering what the heck you're doing on the camera. Are you getting me on the camera? You know, what's the big deal? What's the person saying? So it's, but I don't think people care anymore, or at least not as much, because like I said, there's so many influencers. And what I see at the beach, I was here the other day and it was around dusk, and it was influencers on the beach, you know, taking these shots with the sun in the background and their hair all flipped up and, you know, living the best life that they can. These are the back lanes. So now we're getting onto the Strand. This is what they call the Strand, and this is Strand Street. And I've got to say, of all the beaches that I've been in Southern California, whether it's Huntington, Newport, Santa Monica, Venice, Manhattan Beach to me is one of the nicest beaches that I have ever been to. So when you look this way, that's Palos Verde down there. And then when you look this way, what you've got this way, and it may be hard to see, but that mountain range, that's all the Mountain View, or sorry, Malibu mountain range down that way. So you've got the Strand goes down this way. If you walk all the way down that way, you'll end up getting to Hermosa, Redondo Beach. You can already see some of the nice houses. I find this would be the south side of the pier. What I find is the north side of the pier. The houses, these are impressive, no doubt, but as we go by the north side of the pier and you take a look at those, you'll I was amazed. We'll see. And I know there's so many different styles and things like that. So it's just what you'll see on the sundown sort of stuff. is it happens really quickly when it happens. And if you catch the sunset at the right time, it's like an incredible shot. What's interesting about some of these homes too, like this one coming up here, you could tell this is like Miami Vice sort of style back in the 80s, where they had those blocks on the houses. And you could see with some of the round sort of things, and what you'll see too is some of the homes actually look like office buildings. So they're more than, you know, I guess maybe someone says, hey, I've got a nice office building, I want my building to look like that. Or maybe they get the same architect who does. And if you look, these buildings, they go so far back, like you don't think that you go in the front, oh, that's not a bad sized place. And then you look behind and it just goes on forever. And what people have is these lots, they basically fill them right to the brim. Okay, this will be weird. Going by a bunch of kids, last thing I want is to get heckled or anything like that. So we'll kind of go by the pier here and see if I can get by where they're just saying, hey, look at that guy. He's just getting the pier. This pier too is one of the best piers that's, I walked out there and it's just a really, really nice pier to be on. These guys are having a great time behind me. Bunch of young people. Didn't see how old they were. Again, this is kind of the first time I'm doing this, so I've been a little bit nervous about getting heckled or someone, hey, are you recording me? And let me see that video. I need to get off that video, you know. That's kind of some of the things. The one thing that this place is really known for in Manhattan Beach is their volleyball. It's a little later right now, but you could say they have an awful lot of volleyball, and they have big tournaments here. When we came, there was maybe some sort of a college tournament, and here's their like surfboard and a couple of surfers. There is. The other thing was, I know Huntington is a beach where they say is some of the best surfing, and there's so many surfers, and I saw it so many times, even on Newport. But what I found here was that there's even more surfers here than I've seen before, like just incredible amount. So the one thing they say about Huntington Beach, or sorry, of this beach, Manhattan, is that it's very chill. When we were first talking to someone, that we were telling them, oh yeah, we're gonna be going to Manhattan Beach. First thing they said was, they kind of looked at us a little strange. I'm not sure why. Maybe they thought, oh man, these people must have money. But it was Newport, Balboa, that we were talking to them. And so anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, they said that the one thing about Manhattan Beach is it's very chill, that the people are really chill. And I find that I could definitely see that and experience it. That at each place we've been to different bars every night, or not every night, but and everyone has a different vibe. It's pretty cool. Each bar, it's like anything, great people watching. Now you're seeing, you know, you think about it, if you can see the beach from here, there's still a lot of people, and this beach is long. You know, you'll see that there's a bike path that all the cyclists are on there, and I've ridden that path many times, and it's a great bike path, and it goes on forever. It's got to be, I don't know, 6 miles, maybe more. It takes a while to finish it. So now we're on that north end, and as I mentioned, the north end has what I think are some of the nicer places that are out there, and you know, unique. You know, when you look, and the more you go down, it seems the more unique everything gets. and different styles. We're coming up on one that I think was just amazing. Again, looking at all the people on the beach and then walking the Strand. There's an awful lot of people. You can see, again, architectural, kind of a Miami sort of look with the place. Now we're getting up to one that kind of has this castle sort of look to it. And I often wonder if these are people's first homes or their real homes or just like a beach home, but look at that. And that goes long. That's one place. But you almost think it's like a country club or something to join. But I know they don't allow commercial stuff down here, so it's got to be a home. Really can't see in, at least not at night. But what I'm looking at, I could see a little bit, and there's a lot of wood furniture in there for sure. Here's something again. You look at this, you think it's little, but then again, look at the back. It's all connected. I believe it's connected. I'm pretty sure because I know the size of the lots are that. And then again, back to the beach here. You can see the bike path. And again, these people are just going easy, but during the day you'll see a lot of really good cyclists who are kind of humping it. And normally on these trails, they don't allow people to go more than 10 or 15 miles an hour, but this one does. So it's pretty good. And then let's just keep moving along here. I'm starting to sweat. I didn't think it was going to be this warm, and I haven't even done any of the uphills yet. It's kind of all been downhill. Again, looking at this, and you'll see every second or third. Oh no, this one doesn't have it private all the way to the top, but you'll see ones that do. And again, they string the lights across, and I'm sure these places at Christmas are probably pretty incredibly lit up, if they're anything like Balboa Island or whatever. Again, just they're redoing part of this house, I guess. I can only imagine how tough it is. You're getting stuff done. You definitely need a referral of someone who's going to do this for you, because I can't imagine. And even guys that do this, I'm impressed. Like, they're building stuff on hills. So here's one I was looking at yesterday. And when you look at look at the metal down there and the pipes. And this is just the basement area and the rebar and all that other stuff. It's pretty amazing. Like here, you'll see the sticking out of the ground, those big cement or steel, and they have a display here of a couple of the girders from 9/11 from the World Trade Center in a little statue commemorative. And they're not as big as the steel beams. Girders are not as big as what's in that basement, which is incredible. And I know in California, the building codes are really, really strict and overkill from what I'm hearing from people. That you look at they'll say, oh, the old houses that had very little code, they're still around, and they didn't have a problem. So they're like, hey, I think we've gone too far. So here's another one. This the second floor, you can see, goes right up. This is a house that I look at, and it's like, definitely, it almost looks like a club if you look at the door. It's stainless steel door. The wraparound almost looks like a nightclub. And when I see stuff like this, I think of some young single professional guy who wants to bring the girls over and impress them. So, but it is definitely dated, but in the time, I'm sure people thought it was extremely cool. The one thing I also like is when you look at these light posts that are all down the Strand. That's one thing about Los Angeles I like, is they have so many light posts and they're all different. And there's actually a museum that you can go to. It's outdoor in LA. It's kind of like a botanical garden that you can walk through, and it has all the different light posts and the styles based on the years, and which is pretty cool. What's interesting on this walk is I'm actually seeing people outside on their decks and on their porches, and we normally don't see that. So this is one of them that I was referring to, that is just off the Strand. And this one, you'll see, if you can look closely, is way up there. All the lights in the evening, they're turned on, and it looks really, really cool. And then let's just keep walking around on the Strand here. So I had to look to make sure my camera's still on, because could you imagine if I've been doing all this talking and walking and I don't have, oh my God, I just realized I got no sound. Wow, I've got no sound, I'm afraid right now. All right, turns out I do have sound. I stopped, cut the tape for a bit, because I noticed something wasn't put in. So this sound is not with my mic and professional sound, but it is sound, and it does go through the walk. So here's another building that they're putting together. Sure, it's full. Oh yeah, this one has more steel. If you look at all the steel floored goit, what do they call them? Trusses, I guess, steel trusses. And then they're building. I was watching again, Adam Carolla, he really knows a lot about building, and he was showing a house in Malibu that's right on the water, and that it cost $2 million alone just for the piles. And I think one of the piles, or a group of them, had to go down 500 feet. And he was talking about the codes, and that, the old codes, they had like those telephone poles, all the when you look at the piers, that's what they have, is just the telephone poles. So here's another house. Definitely it's not going to burn down if there's a fire. Completely made out of concrete walls. So again, it's different styles that you can see, in terms of very much like a building. I think it, oh my God, oh, this one, for the first time, it's the first time I see this one, looks like a rental. Isn't that interesting? So keep walking along. Still people again along the beach. The beach goes on forever, and it's just beautiful because it's like the perfect distance to the water. It's not too far, it's not too shallow. Some of the beaches that I've been on are incredible. Like here now, this house is being built, but you could tell that they're keeping the frame of the building. They're taking all the outside. So this house must have, maybe it had steel before, maybe it didn't. Oh, maybe it didn't. And they're building it up with the steel. Because on that top floor, I don't see any steel. So I guess it's possible they're retrofitting with the steel on these houses, or that one. But I can only imagine the cost and the land. I did look at a house here. It was on YouTube, and they said, oh, it's 150 million. And then we looked on Zillow, and it was 37 million. It was only 37. I was like, man, if you had a place that's $150 million on Newport, man, I keep screwing it up on Manhattan. Sun's coming down a little bit more for sure. And now you can see the Malibu Mountains pretty good. You know, for me, I like the big ones, but you know, there's something about the original that are like little cozy cottages that are cool too. And now we're coming up, you can see some of these houses. They've, you know, got some cool things on it where you see the roof is open above the deck. Although that's interesting. It's gonna rain. And again here, look at how beautiful this is. Oh wow, this house is for sale. I wonder how much this one is. Looks like a nice house, kind of a Spanish style. This here looks beautiful right here, and they've got the lamps that are in the middle there as you go up, which is quite interesting. This here, I just changed the view a bit. I think we can get more of the houses. And this is the first time I'm doing it, so after I'm done, and I'll have to start looking at all the footage and see which worked better, which didn't. I kind of wish I was in the other lane, the far lane, because then I'd be able to show more of the home. But I guess you've got your one way and another. Again, people sitting out there enjoying their wine. I saw the other people having a few cocktails. I could see why. Here's another house that is being built. I don't see as much. Oh yeah, there's steel everywhere. Here's another one. This boardwalk goes on for quite a while, and I think I may end up turning around a bit and going up that one thing. I don't know if we're going to be able to get the sunset on this one, if I'm still going to be on the beach. Actually, in the camera it looks lower than it is, but I do know they go down fast. So here's one. Read kind of like this one. Normally that sort of stuff, that front in most neighborhoods gets weathered, but it looks like they have someone that does all the painting and upkeep. Now this was interesting. We went by this. This is not a house. This is a hotel. So I'm not sure how they got a hotel down here. But it looks kind of ratty. But I was looking online at some of these places, and they're not bad. You know, they're typical inside. I saw one that was not on the water, but it was up a ways. And again, it looked pretty dated and stuff like that. And it ended up, the cheapest room was $225 a night for a single room, which, you know, it's not bad. It's up about 2 streets there. But here's this one. And then the other rooms that they had, the highest price rooms, were like $695 for a suite, but I didn't find the suite was that much. So that guy's interesting. I don't know what he was saying. Anyway, I'm gonna try the other side of the street right now, and you can tell. Actually, you know, on my walk back, I could walk back on this. I do want to go back. So now the houses, they're nice, but they're not as nice from what I remember. But let's turn back now and take a look at it from a different view. And I've got, I changed my camera. Normally it's a one-on-one sort of shot, but now I have 0.5, and what that does is it just puts more in the frame. So you could probably see there's more house, there's beach, you're seeing it all at the same time. The sun is at my back, so the lighting is a little bit better, and I'm allowed to be on this side now, so we can get more of a look. And again, I'm always amazed, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'm like, you know, what do they do for a living to do this? And then the other side of it is you know, you can only live in one room at a time. And when you close your eyes in your bedroom, it you can't tell, you know, whether you're in a cheap bedroom or a palatial estate. You just can't tell. And so I don't know. I think if you just live in a nice home, you know, you can redo your home. And you know, we did that with ours. Redid the kitchen cabinets, put in new doors, you know, and it's a nice home. Ours, it's with a walkout, it's about 3,000 square feet, but it was, or maybe a little less, 1,800 for 2 floors. We got in there, we wanted to downsize a bit, so we did. And I look at our house and I think, okay, it would be worth some big money even here, you know, if it was just location, location, location. Because I look in some of these houses on the videos and stuff, and I don't see too much difference than what we have. You know, the same sort of kitchen cabinets, and you know, it looks all the same. So for me, I feel like I personally feel like I live in there, and I'm not in a neighborhood that, you know, is the ultra wealthy. I've got, you know, guys that live around me that are firemen and policemen and teachers and scientists and all that sort of stuff, programmers. So it's not, you know, the uber rich or anything. So this is this house here that's now for sale. And you see more of a shot of it. And you can see now some of the homes that we looked at as I was walking up here. You can see more of them in a little bit different perspective, a little bit bigger of a shot. And yeah, just some really unique stuff here. At night even, it's quite interesting. You know, some have some really nice, you know, lighting as well. You're gonna spend this kind of money on a house, you definitely want your lighting to show off the house. And you definitely want to have landscaping that, you know, fits with the house. Still amazed. Look at they're building a building basically. Wow, that's incredible. But you know what? I guess eventually, I know it sounds a little crazy, but we're morbid, but there's going to be a tsunami one day. You know, it hit Japan. It does have the water. They have signs out there that show tsunami exit. Whether it's Huntington or Manhattan, I've seen the signs. And so there is going to be a tsunami. When the tsunami comes, my guess is no matter how well built the house is, it's probably going to do some real damage. I don't know if it'll take it down, but it might go through it. And the one thing it's interesting is California. I love it. I'd love to move here. And then you start looking at the costs, like these homes alone, forget about how much they cost. Just think about how much the tax bill is. And I think, and you can write it in the comments, but I think it's like 1.5–2% of the home value. So you buy a $5 million home, if it is 2%, you're talking, you know, almost 10 grand a month for taxes. Might be, who knows, might even be more than that. Although I do know California has some thing that whenever you bought your house, whatever your taxes were, they can't go up. So you've got some of these older people that have been here 50 years. Maybe they paid 2 grand a year for taxes, and now they're still paying 2 grand a year for taxes, which is sweet. But I could see for someone wanting to move here, you really have to take into consideration, you know, what it's going to cost on your tax side. This is kind of a look that concrete, but they try to make it look like wood. Maybe it's a little patterned. Is this the nice one up? Yeah, I think we'll go up this one. Maybe this, it definitely is a good one. I guess we're probably not gonna get the the sunset, but that's okay. Let's walk up here. Since we walked down the whole pier, it's it's too bad the lights aren't on. I'm wondering, looks like they are on up at the top, so we'll keep going to the top because that'll give you a chance. We'll see the downtown area, which is really nice, and hopefully it gets dark because they have it lit up pretty nicely in a nice format, and it's it's pretty cool, very very welcoming. And you can see walking up here now, I'm finally, if I'm breathing heavier, you know why. Cameras never really capture the grade, but it is a little steep for sure, and I'm wearing a little jacket as I mentioned, so it's I really should be taking this off. Maybe I will. Oh snap. So now we're coming up to some more really nice homes. Excuse me if the camera's jiggling too much because I'm taking off my sweater, and again, different styles, and I'm sure the views for them are just great. Probably super. Yeah, they've turned the lights on the other side there. So I wonder, they got them stringed across. I guess they get all the neighbors. Hey, we're putting up lights. Okay. Yeah, I came by here last night. Young people, man. Like, I wonder, are they lawyers, doctors? I'm sure there's some that own businesses. It's just, I'm amazed. I am amazed. Now we're getting back up to Highland, which we were on before. There's a couple of streets that go right down to right downtown, and it's a cool downtown, really cool. And every place you go, whether it's a bar or restaurant, it's different types of people. So this is Highland, and I'm just curious, do I go up one more street to Manhattan, or is it on Highland, all our stuff? But maybe I'll go down Highland a little bit and then see if this is the right street. I'll know because all the trees are wrapped with lights, so at night it's really cool. They've and the restaurants in the evening are loud. They're open window. They're very loud. People are talking. It's like a New York City sort of vibe. It's really cool. And we were gonna go eat one time, and we're just dressed in our, look at that place. That's beautiful. Oh yeah, no, I thought that's one home. Even back roads here, it just goes on and on and on. Here's one of the trails down as well, and then there you can go the trail up, and so from there, and then if you continue on, I really hope this is the street. It should be, because I see already they have a palm tree all lit up, and that glass building up front there, that's their public library, and which is cool. I was always like, my kids go to the library still. I'm thinking with the internet and everything, and then I'm told libraries are as busy as ever. So who figures, I would have figured with the internet, nobody needs to go to the library I know when I was a kid and we went to the library, it was for things like microfishing, you know, microfishing different newspapers and stuff for your projects, which are all things now you can do on the internet. Although I wonder if they ever put the microfilm on the internet, like scanned it. I'm sure they probably did. Although we always joke, right, when we were younger, it's a good thing they didn't have the internet and social media and everything when we were younger, because some of the things we did, if it was caught on film, man, we would be canceled, would be the easiest thing. So that's the most unfortunate part, is if you is the social media side, and then videotaping and having it on camera forever, that it never goes away, because we're all stupid when we're young. We all do stupid things. Again, looking down, just getting the hue. Now down this street, you're gonna see the trees start getting lit up, and it's just really, really nice. Actually, coming up on Uncle Bill's Pancake House, and I came by here the other day and I took a picture of the logo. You know, it's one of those old school hand painted, and then you look, just looking at the building, you know, it's so unique. It's got this, you know, little triangle type door, and then, you know, this looks like it hasn't changed in a forever period. And I've come by here during the day, driven by, and it is just packed. It's always packed. They have a nice patio here, so I guess people come and sit on the patio, and then you can see again. It's like every second or third street they have this, so which is a really nice feature. Yeah, we went right by. I should have shown more. Went right by the library. I had my eye caught on other stuff. Here's like all these little shops that you know. Here's like I guess furniture. Yeah, or no, it's a spa. I thought they were selling chairs. Yeah, no, it looks like definitely a spa. You need to get your nails done or whatever. And then what's this? This is the Rockefeller, which is one of the restaurants. And again, you look and it's very full inside. You know, people, loud, and it just, this is early night, this is first sitting, so you can imagine on the, you know, as it gets later and you have the second sitting, and it's all the kind of young people that are, you know, going out on a date or whatever. So again, down here, oh man, I should probably see if I can go in a parking lot, and if we can even get the sunset from here. Probably not. I'm looking at this parking lot here. I'd probably have to be down below, but mind you, this guy is standing there. I'm wondering, he's pondering, is he pondering his life? Why am I alive? Or can he actually see the sunset? I actually think he could see the sunset. I don't think we need any sort of intervention. Hey man, what's the matter, man? Are you okay, man? And yes, there it is. We can see part of the sunset there. And yeah. Oh, you can't see it when I'm behind the leaves of a tree, but looks like that's it. Looks like it's gone. So, well, that's okay. I guess at some point I'll take off my sunglasses. Won't be needing them. And let's get back onto Highland. And this side of Highland is not as much action as the other side. So even though it looks quite good, and impressive and a place you want to hang out, which it is. It's still, there's a lot more that you could go to and you could see. We went, you can't see it maybe all the way back there, but there's a name, Nick's. Maybe I can enlarge this a bit. Reed and I went there. It's a sign way at the back. Just amazing food, like amazing. And I have an app where I rank all the food that I eat wherever we go to a restaurant. And that was, I had the sea bass. And I don't eat fish very much, but some just said try it. And it was amazing. I had Reed try it. And he said the exact same thing. He was like saying to himself, man, if I knew it was this good, I would have, I would have ordered it. Now I'm gonna just stand here for 1 minute because I've got to take my sunglasses off and put on my regular glasses because it is getting dark now and there's no need for me to have on my sunglasses. And you can't see it, but across the street there's the Kettle, and that place is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We ate there. Really good food. So hopefully these glasses don't slip off because I'm sweating a bit. There's another restaurant and it's full. It looks like it's a sushi restaurant. I love sushi, but I'm married to a steak and eggs eater, or potato and meat eater, and that's okay. It just okay, actually Highland wasn't even the street that's the busy one, so now you can see we're coming down the main drag, and there's this Simmy's, which is really busy as well as a restaurant. You can hear the loudness of this. Now there's all these downtown restaurants. And Skechers, I've got to check. They must have a head office here or something, because everywhere you look, there's a Skechers business, and they have these slip-on shoes at this one of a design that I haven't seen before. And I'm kind of like, do I go get them? And because I have the slip-ons and they're so nice. But then you think, oh, are you like an old guy having these things? So now we're getting this is the main road. I'm kind of glad we went up the other one. I thought these streets were the only ones with the lights lit up on them, but it looks like that street we just went through has the same thing. So now we're getting into this street, and this is the side. It's a little bit shorter. There's not as much stuff down this side.
He doesn't even run.
The other side seems to be where a lot of the action is. There's bars, restaurants, that sort of thing. And I just missed the lights, so they have here four-way lights. See, I could definitely go across. See, this is an example like where Americans, or not Americans, I'm going to say Californians, we've got a green light, even though you've got a red hand there, it still means you can go across, right? Like, and when it's yellow, it just means run a little bit across. So here's a creamery. There's lots of ice cream places here. A lot of people walk in. Here's that Skechers store, and it has so much in it. That's why I'm starting to think this might be head officeville area, because when you have a head office, of course, you know, your executives are going to be around. They want to see the best store, and they know what stuff they have. And so this across the street, this is, I don't even know how to say it properly. It's their dive bar. Ecolis, established 1927. So we spent a lot of time in there. I'm not a fancy food type guy, or at least not regular. I'll go to those restaurants, but I really enjoy the bar and grill sort of restaurants. So you can see it's, you know, it's kind of a neighborhood pub that they have. And so that's the first one we go to. There's another one down near the water, which is interesting. Depending on the time of day, you'll have certain types of crowds within it. You know, you'll have earlier in the day, you've got your older crowd, then it starts getting younger, and then by nighttime, I think it turns into a nightclub. So here's another one, this bistro across the street filling up. You can hear the talking from here, and people, you know, they get a little dressed up here for sure, but I'm not sure if it's dressed up or it's just what they wear, because they've got, you know, when you've got money to have houses like this and pay mortgages like this and all the rest of it, you know, maybe that's just normal clothing. Me, I like a t-shirt and a pair of jeans and a pair of sneakers. The comfort for me is all I need. Where was I? Was talking to somebody. Oh yeah, they were talking about Portland, Oregon. Met a couple of people from there, a couple of sales ladies, and they were saying that here's a wine store. What I have noticed is a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot, but I've seen it where they're doing the corkage thing, so bringing their own bottles of wine, and I'm sure it's probably pretty expensive stuff. They must be the connoisseurs of wine, and so it's probably worth whatever the corkage fee is. Most of the time, what I've seen is like 45 bucks or whatever. Not that it matters, because I am not a, is this person stopping for me or what? No. I'm just gonna wait because I want to go on the other side of the street. Okay, I can get across now. All right, I want to go on the other side because I want to show you this really unique place that Alice and I have been there and read. And if you're talking people watching and just the most unique place, it's right across the street here. I'd love to go there, but it's so odd showing up if you're by yourself at a bar on a Saturday night. But I look in it, and it's here's a restaurant just starting to fill up here, Arthur J's or something like that. So, but here's this place. It is, I don't know, it's got a weird vibe. It's always full, and normally they're playing music. So I do see a guy with a headset on. But you can see it's got the unique lighting, and it's loud in there, the music, and it's all your 80s older people. But it's a different crowd. Like when we were in there, when Reed and I were in there, it was the housewives of Manhattan Beach, Orange County sort of thing. And now I'm looking in there, and it looks like it's kind of a younger crowd, at least outside. But yeah, it's a very cool place. So get back down to this view. So there you can see the water down there. Maybe we'll just go down, do one more little walk as it's getting dark and the sun is all the way down. Again, looking at some of the flowers and all that sort of stuff. It's really cool. Oh, this one's coming soon. So you got the money. You know, the one thing that I find interesting is you go at night, you look at in the houses and just seeing what are people watching on TV. And it was interesting when we were on Balboa Island, and I mentioned around Balboa Island, it's really, I think the average age has got to be 73, not 43. They're the parents, I think, of the people that live here. But what you find is they had a lot of their, you know, as I mentioned, windows open. So we went for a walk the night of Reagan's State of the Union speech, and it was so interesting because almost every TV we looked at, and there was a lot of windows we were able to look into, all had the had that you know, that show on, and that was really interesting. And I have heard that Newport Beach is kind of Republican, I guess, and so is Manhattan Beach, whereas Laguna Beach is the opposite. It's very Democrat, a lot of liberals, which makes sense because it's a huge art community. And yeah, Manhattan Beach too is supposed to be much more conservative. So that's kind of what we're looking at for the beach. And there's still people like sitting on the beach. We like all the way down. They're all the way down the beach and still walking. So it's one of those things that people just they love this beach life. And when I was here the other night, actually when I go riding on this, there are so many people that ride on this trail that if I ever get in an accident, I don't think it's going to be on a busy road. I think it's going to be here on this bike trail. You really got to keep your head on a swivel. And a lot of those bikes, they're not really bikes, they're like motorcycles that the kids are on. Actually, when we were kids, they never let us have motorcycles in the city. And somehow, I guess with it being electric, kids nowadays, it's like having mopeds in the city. So that's kind of cool. Lucky for them. It would have been great for us. Although, kind of tricks you. Like, they're not really getting in shape riding the bike. I have an electric bike, and I don't know why I bought it. I've got 32 kilometers on it. I know why I bought it, because Alice had one. Alice is diabetic, so you could go low, and when you go low, that's hard to pedal if you got to get home. And we've had some emergencies like that, so at least she has the electric bike. And then, you know, which is a good thing. So I ended up getting one too, kind of like a mountain bike with a motor, it's kind of this hybrid thing. They were like $600, you know, not like a lot of these ones that are out there that are, you know, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Actually, I find it rare to see a kid nowadays riding a normal bike, if that's the best way to, or the way to say it. You know, and when I say normal, one without an engine, that's it's rare to see that. Here we are, we're back at this place, and so maybe we'll just go up this side here, and we're getting by. Seeing what this place is like, you can see as we get closer, it's got an incredible energy. And this time, a lot of people in there with baseball caps.
Yeah, we're like a bit further.
Rice, sake and real food. Interesting, haven't seen that before. 100% gluten-free. Okay. Going up the hill, it's gonna be another little walk home, all the way back to the house. I don't know how far, or I should know how far we've gone. We've probably done close to 5K so far. And again, if you're liking this little walk, let me know. My apologies, because your ears are probably bleeding right now with what I'm describing in terms of the neighborhood and what it's like to be on Manhattan Beach. Yeah, you can see pretty steep going down to the water. Still got a lot of uphill to do. You know, there's just like a young guy, Porsche, Mercedes, something else. What do you have there? Is that a Beamer? It's amazing. You're living down near the beach. Like, is it crypto? You know, it's got to be something, right? You know, people say, oh, it's their parents' money. Okay, look at that place. Like, it goes across to the back. And actually, it only dwells that little house. But even that little house, look at the back of it. They're not that little. They're not that little. Okay, here we go. Here's a crosswalk. I've got to be safe here, even though it's a crosswalk. May as well run across. The one thing, there used to be a crosswalk where I lived in Winnipeg, and it was like the crosswalk where most people, older people, got killed because they pushed the button and then they just automatically thought that everyone's just going to stop for them. And of course, they didn't. And so then they're no longer. Who knows, maybe they're... So I don't want to necessarily go down here. We did already. But you can see kids are now out and they're playing. And just a regular neighborhood. So we'll kind of go down a back lane. These are behind all of the houses, of course, what a back lane means and says. And you know, you can see like this can't be a house. If it is, that's insane. They've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 car garage. I don't know, maybe it is. And then down there, the street the kids are playing on. Yeah, if that is a single house, wow, that's nuts. If it is, I can't imagine. Nah, it can't be. Like, there's more here too. This one does. Oh yeah, and they've got, you know, the alleyways walking up, that sort of thing. Okay, let's go down this one. We haven't done this one. Oh, this is a cute street. And then, you know, look at the house. Like, again, little cute house. And then across the street, look at that. Complete glass. Like, you know, it's like, this is amazing. And then there's leaded glass windows there. I don't know if you can see those. And then you've got, you know, wonder what they're watching on TV. You got the TV on. Nowadays you can't tell. You know, there's so many channels, and then there's YouTube. That's what I watch all the time, is YouTube. Got rid of cable. I got one of those internet cable things. I think I paid $160 for, I don't know, it could have been 2 years or something. And I could hook up multiple TVs. Oh, look at this. It's like a mini White House. Okay, here, look at this. They're all young people. Holy man. They're all sitting there outside. The one thing I love about California is there's no bugs. And I'm sure there's bugs, right? There's termites for sure, because I've seen some of these houses wrapped up and fumigated. And it's an amazing sight to see these houses wrapped, because they're enormous houses. So it looks like a circus tent. And yeah, looking at that house there, it's amazing. Even these small ones. Oh man, I keep looking in these houses. It's all younger people. Of course, I feel their age. You know, my age is basically 60. Yet I still feel like I'm much younger than that, in my 30s, 38-ish, which I guess is a good thing, although the body isn't. That's why I'm spending time trying to stay in shape, that as I mentioned, that trail, that's what I ran on today. But I guess walking too is good for you. At least they say it is. I always find it like, I don't want to say embarrassed that I'm walking, but I'm more like, man, is this real exercise? Okay, here we go across. Cars coming. Oh shit, I just dropped my glasses. Oh, here's my glasses. Oh no, and these are prescription glasses. Okay, and I got them. Okay, I got lucky. Just saved myself like 250, 300 bucks right there. Yeah, let's walk back. We'll go up the street that we didn't before, and let's see. I think this one here we didn't go down. Another big hedge, huge house. Have I said I can't believe how much money these are and how do they afford it? Have I said that more than 20 times? I think 25 is probably my record. It's just, let's see, there's one street I was walking, and it's nice that we're doing it as the sun's coming down. There's, again, I look at some of these houses, and then this one here, that's kind of like 60s brick or whatever. That concrete sort of fence. And yet across the street, you've got this, which is like a mansion. And then what's this one? Another smaller one. Okay, like when I say smaller, it's not small, but very private. And I wonder, do these big houses want them to, shut down? Sell your house so we can get another big house beside you. These people, it's like a furniture showroom. More. I hope you're enjoying the walk with me. If you're sticking with me this far, you too might find it interesting. What you could do is walk on a treadmill while I'm doing this. It'd be like, you feel like real time, real time seeing these houses. Like this one, I know you can probably tell I'm a little partial to the littler houses. I think they're more homey. We did walk down this street because I remember this. I think they've got the courtyard in there. So we'll, but you know what? You can walk down it, you see it, and then you walk the same street and it's like looking at all new houses again. The only difference is some of them, they're well lit up. And I also find it interesting. People, they've got lots of money, but you know what? They do the same thing everybody does. They watch TV, what's their night? Putting on a movie, watching TV, nothing fancy. It's not like, maybe they're going to some nicer restaurants or whatever, but hey, you get grandma's home cooking is as good as anything. So I know we didn't go down this street, so we'll go down. Let's see, I should start looking at the cars. Well, that's a Chevy. That's a pretty normal car. There's a guy putting trash. Oh, that's a well-lit house. That's gorgeous. Wow. That is really nice. Huge house like that, and they got a one-car garage. Wow. Unless it drives all the way through to the back. And it does. Yeah, 1-car garage that holds like 5 cars in there. Yeah, shame on me for laughing at the guy saying, hey, you got 1-car garage. Yeah, take a look in here. I can put 6 cars, 7 cars. Oh yeah, another beautiful home, and it's nicely lit, you know, with the sun going down. This would be a good picture if they were selling it slow, like there's kids. Now, I think that's the main road up there. So this road, 10th Street, I think takes us up. I could go on the main road. There's not a lot to look at. What's this place? Is that a parking garage or is that a house? Looks like a house. Or what's in there? Is that is the weirdest thing. I don't know what that is. You know what? I'm gonna go up this one. Oh man. Look at the size of these places. Oh. Does it ever end? Does it ever end? You know, Manhattan Beach, it's unfortunate. Alice has knee issues from being an athlete as a young person. And so she can't walk these streets. She has to get those injections, so she can't walk them. So this is another way I could sit her down and say, look, you got to see this stuff. This is what you were missing. Like, come on, man, that's a house. Man, what do you do? Like, you can easily get your 10,000 steps in when you live in a place like that. Then, yeah, it's beautiful. At least I'm getting a good walk in. I was going to be back, and I think we've been at it for sure over an hour. But it's probably more like an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's going to be a bit of an upload on YouTube. Again, I'll probably send this to my parents too. My mom's definitely not in the shape to get up here. Nor my dad. They're like 79, turning 80. But it's just, people were saying my brother had dropped us off, and I think he got the impression like he was at our place on Balboa Island, and you know, pretty nice, pretty high end. And then when he came and he dropped us off here, or I wouldn't necessarily say dropped off, but he took half of our belongings because we had too much stuff. And so anyway, he saw the area and the street. And when I talked to him the next day, he goes, you know, you can tell him this was. So what do you think of your area? Are you happy with it? You know, basically saying, wow, he got a piece of shit. And I said, man, you'd be shocked. You just go one block behind us, and it's just beautiful. And the beach is the most beautiful beach we've ever, well, that I would say in Southern California. Now, there might be people that would argue with that maybe Santa Barbara has a nice beach or other places, but for me, the beaches I've been to, which are the main ones, hands down, Manhattan Beach. So I've got to get across here. So now I'm almost back. So this is that Manhattan Street Boulevard that I was talking about, and it being busy. So you can see we just came off one street back, and now we're on this incredibly busy street. again, not too bad. It's Saturday night right now, so it's not fair. But if we were walking during the day, midday, something like that, it's hard to even run across the street to the car if we have it parked on the other side. It's near impossible. And we're almost back, and I'm gonna just go right back because I want to go door to door so that you've had the experience to hang out with me on a door-to-door experience. And thank goodness the audio works, because I've been talking this whole time, and if the audio didn't work, then you'd just be walking with no sound, which, you know, maybe a good thing. Although I'll tell you, if you don't like the sound but you like the visuals, just turn down the sound. That works too, you know. So you get the best of both worlds. If you want sound, you've got it, and if you don't, you don't. Or if you get sick of hearing my voice, which I won't be offended. And look, the streets are all dark too. And I've walked down these at night, and I don't do it because, or not very long, because I feel like a creepo. You know, like what's this guy just walking down the street for, you know, people, you know, are they is he looking to rob us or something? You know, I could see where people might get a little freaked out. So, especially a older guy by himself walking around the neighborhood, you know. I don't know, maybe it's nothing in my head, but it's just something I think about, that I don't want to be a creepo or have the cops pull me over. What are you doing here? All right, so here we are. We're back to our little humble abode. And I hope you've enjoyed the tour. I've enjoyed doing it. It's like walking and talking with a friend. And now I have a memory that I can walk Manhattan Beach. So thanks for joining me.